Welcome to Giant Radio, where we're all about big ideas in sales and marketing and eye-popping discussions with successful entrepreneurs. Turn up the volume and settle in. Now, here's the founder of Giant Jacks Media and your host, Paul Hitchcock.
Hi, everybody. This is Paul Hitchcock. Thanks for jumping on Giant TV. I am the founder and president of Giant Jacks Media, where we help others to grow and nurture their business. Really excited to have Alicia Parr on the show today. Welcome.
Hello.
Yeah, and Alicia, obviously you and I were talking offline. I'm looking at my notes. You've got so much going on. You have a very successful company, Perform Mentor. Did I say that right? Yes.
That's it. Perform Mentor,
yeah. I want to hear about that. You're also a Vistage Chair in Durham, North Carolina. So give me a little bit about your background and what you're doing with your businesses.
Yeah. So back in, I want to say 2016, 2015, I was a Vistage member in a chair group, a key group. And I actually realized that I needed to become an entrepreneur. So, you hear entrepreneurs tell stories about how they just became unemployable. And now I understand. So I really benefited from being a member in Vistage, taking my journey to a place where I realized it was time for me to move out of a vice president of human resources and step into and become a business owner myself. Because what I realized is that many of us, we all get more energy when we do the kind of work that challenges us just enough and that interests us and that is consistent with our purpose. And I knew that that's what I needed to create for me.
100%. So was there a catalyst event that happened that made you feel that way, or was it just sort of a series of things and you just got that mindset?
Yeah, that's I would call it a midlife crisis.
We all have those. I've had it.
Because it did happen at that time at the middle of life in my mid 40s. We all do this. We start to look at where we are in our lives. We're like,
Totally.
I might be a little past halfway. Am I going the direction that I really want to go? And I'm really living that life that I really want to live. And the answer was, I think it's time for a change.
I love it. So then you started the business and, at zero, you told me it started at zero and it took off, and it's in the HR space, correct?
Yeah. So human resources, some call it people operations. I just stick with HR because that's what people say. I'm a big fan of, I don't try to teach new vocabulary to busy executives, except for when I really, really have to. Right. Because busy executives are very busy. They don't want to be taught vocabulary. But yeah, so, I'm really just, looking to grow and to make a difference for people. If I start a business, that's what I realized. If I'm going to start a business, it's not going to be, just, a lifestyle business.
Right.
There is nothing wrong with a lifestyle business. Lifestyle business is incredible. But I knew that for me, where I'm at in my life, I was ready to build something that could grow, provide a nice income stream for my family, give me the opportunity to do the kind of work that I excel at, give other people the opportunity to do work that they excel at, and really give people who work in smaller organizations an opportunity to really unleash their energy and really have just a much better work-life balance. For them. Yeah.
No, we're all trying to get that. And you said something to me that caught my attention about you and your role as a leader and a founder of that company. Is you said for a company to last and to move forward, you have to become, what was the phrase you used? You have to become unnecessary, or what was that? Yeah, you said.
There's so many words that come out of my mouth that I never know what I really just said. But yeah. So if you are growing a business towards a point where at some point you might want to exit, and you're the founder, as I'm the founder, I know that I have to make myself unnecessary for the sustaining of the business and the growth of the business. And so that's what we're doing. So we're about 7.5 years into building and growing what I call a fractional full stack HR services business, really different in that we have a very team-based fractional approach, so that you can leverage different people's talents at different points in their career or different interests. Because as you know, Paul, anytime you're growing an organization, growing a business, the kind of HR that you need, or doesn't really reside in one person. There's just, it's a very broad area. Some of it is very strategic, some of it's very tactical, and there's a lot in between. And so we've just built approach so that we can bring the right people together to serve clients at the right scale for their needs today, and be able to evolve and with them as their needs change over time.
Love it. Love it. Now let's talk about Vistage, because this is another big thing you have going on, your Vistage Chair. Tell me how your involvement there, and what you see happening with yourself going forward with Vistage.
Yeah. So, well, like I said, I was a member of a key executive group years ago. I've always been a fan of Vistage, stayed in touch with Bill Buxton, a master chair. It's been a really great experience. Over time, I've developed a lot of clientele and Perform Mentor who are actually in Vistage. So, it seems like there's definitely a lot of alignment between the mindset of a business owner that might join Vistage and the business owner that might work with this and Perform Mentor. So this opportunity came my way to pick up some chair work with Vistage. And what I realized is that my mission for Perform Mentor is to unleash people energy to propel growth through HR, is also what I can do through Vistage. And, when I work with clients, myself as the business owner, a lot of what I'm doing is facilitating meetings, coaching consultants, coaching executives. And wow, doesn't that look a lot like what a chair does, Paul?
Yeah, exactly.
So, it seemed like such a really wonderful opportunity that I wanted to take it on. And, and I really see this as a long-term play for me. I really want to be chair while I'm looking for, an exit within the next several years, or a partial exit from the business that I founded. I really see myself as a chair for many years beyond that. Yeah,
and you have a key group, and you're about to jump into a chief executive group. And with the key group, I imagine obviously you got to be a people person when you have the meeting with your group. But how do you see yourself there? Are you a big listener? Do you guide and teach? Like, how would you position yourself?
That's I love that question. Yeah. So I see myself as sort of like the caretaker of a high challenge, high love culture, or as I'm putting it, all about seeking big truth, big energy, and big love, because if we do those three things, they work together, and we really get what we want out of our growth plan, because as you know, Vistage isn't just about growing our businesses and our professional lives. It's a whole life situation. Yeah.
Do you find that people are, vulnerable in your group setting, which we know is the Vistage way, and it's great, but do you find that really plays out that way? People open up, and you do.
Way easier than everyone thinks is going to happen. And this is, again, fortunately, I was able to learn this earlier on, in my life as well. We can just, people are hungry for an opportunity to share with somebody they trust. So the more that we create an environment and a situation that is a high trust environment, or a big trust, big truth environment, the better. That the more that we can learn, the more that we can really lean into. Because if we're spending our time trying to protect our ego and our image, how are we going to grow and improve? We can't do that. So we really need to. And the way that chairs, the greatest chairs, can do this is very often we all open up by being vulnerable ourselves, because role modeling is, one of the best ways to really establish what the expectations are.
It's interesting, Alicia, because I grew up in a huge family, huge Catholic family. Mom, the oldest of 14, dad's the oldest of 12. And I sat around growing up as a kid, the kitchen table listening to my aunts and uncles talk. It's how I learned about my family, and people were listening to each other. There was conversation going on. And I think that's a lost art today. People seem to be talking at each other nonstop. Nobody really seems to listen with empathy. And your comment about one of the benefits of Vistage is having somebody you can talk to that will listen to you, and you can be, vulnerable and open up, is insane to me. And I think it's one of the powerful things about Vistage and what you do.
Yeah, absolutely. A good group environment is, it's not just the chair holding each other to account. Everyone is holding each other to account and supporting each other. I'm grateful that the group that I inherited certainly was really good at that already. I'm pleased to say that trend has continued. It is the best thing I think about it, that those connections that you get.
And you're meeting once a month with the group as a whole?
That's right. Once a month.
Yeah. And then are there one-to-ones that you're doing with the key group at all?
I have, out of the 12 members, I do one-on-ones with 3. So in the Vistage model, the key executive group, it doesn't come with one-on-one coaching, but it can be purchased separately. So, some do, some don't.
Right. No, fantastic. Where do you see yourself kind of 5 years from now? If you look ahead, I know we all try to project a little bit, but what's going on in 5 years?
Yeah, so I should be on the other side of a successful exit, or involved only tangentially with Performentor. I will have at least 2 Vistage groups. I might have a third. I have talked a little bit with some of the leadership about maybe I'll do a technical advisors group at some point in time. I live in the Raleigh-Durham, North Carolina area. It's a very high growth area. There are a lot of other chairs in this area, but there are so many businesses coming here. It's unbelievable. This is a really great place to be.
Yeah. Now, one of the last questions I want to ask you is, on your own time, you're a very busy, successful woman running these businesses. Are you a good student of when it comes to your personal time versus business time? Are you able to get that divided up evenly? Because we all struggle with that, right?
Yes. Yeah. No, I've got every bit as much trouble with that as the next entrepreneur.
Good. You're human. I love it. Yeah. I figure for me, it's, you got to build it into your day. It's like time blocking, right? Exercise, eating right. It's just, if you time block it, you can make it happen.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a big fan of, I try to simplify things, work hard to make hard things more simple. And so what I've done is I've looked at my life, and I'm like, I've got Performentor energy and time. I've got family energy and time. I got Vistage energy and time are my 3 buckets. And I know, and I'm very clear for today and in the coming years, I know which ones are the biggest buckets. And I know the size of those buckets will change over the course of the next few years. So, kind of back to your other question. Right now, Performentor is a big bucket. Vistage is a little bucket. 5 years from now, it'll definitely be the other way around.
It'll switch. And do you have open seats for the key group?
I do. Yes.
Yeah. What industries are you looking for?
Oh my goodness. I can tell you what we've got. We've got kind of roofing, we've got auto repair, we've got veterinary systems, we've got flag sales and distribution. We have room for more professional services businesses. I would love to see us get a little bit more manufacturing into the room. But we really have quite a lot of latitude in terms of, and our members are located anywhere from east of Raleigh to about 1 hour west of Raleigh. So it's a popular group. So people are willing to drive a little bit to join.
Oh, that's great. Well, I want to tell everybody that watching that we're live streaming this, and you may be watching it in one of several places: LinkedIn, YouTube. We're on Twitter. It's going out on Facebook. So Alicia's information is going to be included in this video somewhere up here, down here, or side to side. And click on it. We'll have your website in there, Alicia, and your LinkedIn profile. But I encourage everybody to get connected with Alicia. Great person to know. And so thanks for listening, Alicia. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you, Paul, and everybody. You should subscribe to all the content that Paul is doing.
So nice. It's not a paid endorsement. It is not a paid endorsement. I promise.
You didn't pay me to say that. I just said it anyway.
Thank you very much. All right, we'll talk to you real soon, Alicia.
Okay, thank you.